Christian Aid, as a development agency, believes that climate change is a huge ethical issue. We say that rich countries are kind of responsible for climate change and the effects. They have a historical responsibility because of the carbon-intensive development path which they've led. But actually, it's poor countries that feel the effect. So you have a country like Bangladesh. The average carbon footprint of a person living in Bangladesh per year is 0.3 tonnes. You compare that to the UK, which is around 10 tonnes of carbon a year, and to the US, which is around 20 tonnes of carbon per person per year. That's a huge inequality, especially when you consider that Bangladesh frequently experiences regular flooding. They've had rising sea level waters, which has contributed to salinisation of the water, and land erosion, which are very serious effects that impact on the ability of people there to live their lives and to get themselves out of poverty. So we argue that this injustice means that climate change is an ethical issue. So Christian Aid works on climate change in a lot of different ways. We work with partner organisations all over the world to enhance their reaction to natural disasters, as well as making sure they can kind of adapt long-term to the effects of climate change. We also capacity build grassroots and community groups in developing countries to make sure that they can lobby their governments and try to achieve the policy change that they think is needed. Another really important aspect of our work, of course, is campaigning in the north to governments like the UK and within the EU that kind of have the ability to affect policy change and to deal with the effects of climate change. The most important thing that anybody can do, especially at the moment, is keep up the pressure on decision makers to push for a fair, ambitious and binding deal at Copenhagen. You may have seen in the press recently there's been quite a lot of reports talking about how it won't be possible to get a deal at Copenhagen. This is why it's even more important that people get out there on the streets and show that there is public support for a deal in Copenhagen. So what we would ask you to do is keep an eye on our website. During the negotiations, we'll have information up there about what's happening, but also about what action you can take. But most importantly, we're urging all of our supporters and anybody who cares about climate change as an issue to get out on the streets on the 5th of December as part of the Wave. This is a national coalition organised event by Stop Climate Chaos, which Christian Aid is a member of. It's going to be jugglers, street dancers, it's going to be bands. It's going to be a really fun day, but with a very serious message that we need a deal at Copenhagen. So get out on the streets and show decision makers that there's popular support for a deal and also that it's not too late. And most importantly, don't forget to wear blue.